Hey, folks, welcome to episode 3 of the Officer Dad podcast, where we take a look at fatherhood through the eyes of police officers. Back with me again today is the infamous JC, who has been joining us for the first 3 now podcasts. And welcome back to the show, JC. How's your day been?
Pretty good, pretty good. How have you been today?
I am I'm a little frustrated today. I went out to get some supplies for the coffee side business I got going on and was basically just shut down at every corner. So little upset about that, kind of some important stuff, but that's okay. There's always Monday.
It is what it is.
It is. You're exactly right. It is what it is. So we got a couple things to talk about today. The first one is these response videos to the hot car deaths. So you found one that you like pretty good. Tell me about it.
All right, we had a network error, and I missed everything you just said.
Nice, nice. So what we're going to do today is we're going to talk. The first thing that we're going to talk about is the video that you found of the gentleman with the hot car death.
Yeah. Let's see. We got a Terry Williams in. I want to say North Carolina. Hold on, let me double check.
You double check.
His name is Terry Williams. He's in Greensboro, North Carolina. He's sitting in the car. He says the temperatures outside are between 80 and 90 degrees. And the video, it shows just his face, the inside of the car, and he's talking. He has sweat pouring off of his face. You can see sweat on his neck dripping down in his shirt. And a direct quote from his video is, "I'm sitting in the car with the windows rolled up because I want to know how it feels to be left in a car." He basically stays in this car, and he talks about how he's feeling being in there, how it's difficult to breathe, how he feels like his system is stronger than a child system is, but it is still unbearable for him to be in this car. Williams challenges other people out there to attempt the same challenge and not be that damn fool that leaves your kid in the car towards the end of his video. So I think
aptly stated.
Well, it's I think if you leave your child in the car, you are a damn fool. I mean, there's other things that we could call you. It could be a mistake. It could
I'd have to beep it out of the podcast, though.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it does happen on mistakes sometimes, but I think the majority of the time when people leave their children in the car, it's not for an extended amount of time that people think that, I'm going to leave him in there like the guy that was down in Cobb County. We don't know exactly what all the issues or all the pieces of that story are, but in any event, the child was left in the car for an extended amount of time.
Wasn't it like 7.5 hours or something?
Basically a work day.
Yeah. Well, see, I have to disagree with you. I don't think that someone can accidentally leave their kid in the car. I think that is an act of neglect, even if they didn't mean to. An accident and not meaning to are two totally different things. That's why people are getting away from calling a traffic accident an accident. Now they're collisions, because there is some amount of neglect when you leave this little tiny person that you see all day long when you're at home. When you leave them in a car, especially when it's turned off, if your life is that freaking busy that you can't keep track of this thing that you gave birth to, that's neglect. I'm sorry. It just is. And some people make a willful choice to leave their kids in the car with it running, obviously with the AC on and stuff like that, which I think is it's better.
I won't say better. I would say I would be okay with leaving a child in a running car that does not have keys in the ignition. If you have automatic start, if you're running into a, let's say, a gas station to go get a drink, because from just about anywhere in that store you can look out the window and see the car. You're
Sure.
not going to spend more than 2 minutes in that store,
Right.
in the convenience store. But the thing that gets me is people that park in a parking lot and go walk through a grocery store or go walk through some kind of shopping mall or a hardware store, something like that, where they can't keep their eyes on the car.
Yeah.
And it's just as bad to leave the keys in the car with a child in it. So
Well, what you're asking for then is for someone to come steal your car and your child,
absolutely. So
which has happened multiple times in the recent weeks.
absolutely. Moral
But
of the story: take
the
your kids out
bottom
of the
line,
car.
take your freaking kids out of the car, man. It's not
Take them with you.
if you don't want to have to deal with the hassle of getting them in and getting them out. Which, hey, I understand. Today me and my 3-year-old, we went gallivanting around all day after I got done with training. Was it a pain in the butt to get him in and out of his car seat inside my truck? Yeah, it sure was. But the bottom line is, I knew he was with me, and if I didn't want to do something and wrangle him in and out of the truck, we just didn't stop.
Yep.
That sounds pretty simple to me. But I'm glad you showed me that video, and I showed you one that I came across. Big shout out to Chief Silveri down in Thibodaux, Louisiana. Chief Silveri supported my efforts with Millennial Cop, which is a whole another side story. When I had that thing started, so a big shout out to Chief Silveri. One of his officers volunteered to do a hot car video, and you guys can watch the videos that we talk about on the show notes for this, which is officerdad.com/3. That will be for this episode of the podcast. But big shout out to you guys down there in Thibodaux. The temperatures have to be a much more sweltering degree than it is here and maybe even in North Carolina. So moving along, I said we were going to talk about something else. What else did I say we were going to talk about?
I don't remember, but I know it got me started, and you told me to be quiet.
Yeah, what was that? What was that? You're killing me now. Okay, anyway.
I think we need an itinerary.
We need an itinerary that. Yeah. I think you may be right. It's probably something that. Oh man, crap.
It was something good because I had.
It was something good. Yeah, because I told you to hang on that we need to start recording because I had a good counter for that, and dang it, man. Oh well, you think about that, and I'm going to tell people about this really cool website that I came across. There's this guy. His name's Chase Reeves, and Chase Reeves does multiple podcasts and multiple websites, but he does one called Father Apprentice, and you can go to it at fatherapprentice.com. You can just look for it in the show notes. And he has a very honest and raw kind of way of looking at fatherhood, and some of the videos that he does are really off the wall, and just there's such an honest way about looking at fatherhood, and it's really refreshing because one of the recurring themes that he has over and over and over is that he's not as good of a father as he wishes that he was. And I think there's a lot to be said for that. There's a lot to be said for constantly raising the bar and being honest and saying, hey, look, I'm not the dad that I know that I should be, but, I'm trying to get there. What do you think about that?
I think, there's always more that we can strive for in our walks as dads, our journey, the learning process that we have. I don't think any of us are perfect. I think we all can learn something new, do something better in the future.
I agree. And I just remembered what it was that we were going to talk about.
What is that?
Target's no gun request.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. And
Well,
specifically, what it was, do you think that criminals watch the news?
wait a minute. That was. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No.
Go ahead.
So
Go ahead.
go ahead. So how this kind of all came to be was that, um, I said one of the things that I wanted to talk about was Target's new no gun quote unquote policy. It's not really a policy that they have. Well, I guess it's a policy that they have. They
On their on
ask
their
people.
website, it says it's a request,
Oh
and
well.
it says they're not going to ask any person who is lawfully and legally carrying a gun in their store to leave. It is just a request to not bring them into the store initially. But if somebody wants to bring it in there, they can.
Well, I'm glad they decided that because I'm still going to bring my gun in when I go to Target.
Right. But like I've beat to death over and over and over again with these people that get online and say, I'm never going to Chipotle, I'm never going to Starbucks, I'm
Yeah,
never going to Target again because they don't
freaking
want me to
gag.
carry my gun in there. Let me tell you something. There are typically I always have at least one gun on me, and some days if I know that there's going to be more than just me and my children, I may carry more than one gun. And at no time, unless I'm in uniform, will you know that I have a gun on me. So all of these people that go out here and raise hell and say, I'm never going here, I'm never going there, I'm never going here again because of their request to not bring a gun in the store is absolutely ridiculous. You know, these people say that I'm not going there because they're going to ask me to put my gun back in the car. Um, how would they let you have it?
Well, let's also think about this though. A lot of the people that say that don't get the same uh, permissions that we as police officers do either. So there's a lot of people that they have to carry open and exposed, or they have to have a permit. But I think you and I have seen some of the same people making those exact statements that were police,
Absolutely.
and the chief of a department actually made that statement. And I thought, how short-sighted and how sad that he would have engaged in that. Just for clarification, that is not the chief of either of our police departments. So no one out there in podcast land, no, that's not either of ours. But there's a lot of people that I know don't have the same permissions that law enforcement do that made that statement. And to the best of my knowledge, Target ain't hurting. So I think they
No,
went on and
they're
they went on and kept on shopping, I guess, without their guns, I guess.
neither is Starbucks, neither is any of these other places. I think
Neither's
the deal
Chipotle.
is you know what? End of the day, these companies come out with these things and say, I don't want you to bring it in here for, I think, the sole purpose of telling them to not bring them in is so that they don't carry them exposed.
Well, I think
Nobody
that,
wants to go in and see somebody with a rifle slung across their back.
you know
Nobody
what,
wants to go in and see somebody with a
those people
huge
need to
Desert
be
Eagle on
punched in
their
the
side.
face. Those people need to be punched in the face. There's no reason,
Well, you know
other
what?
than for wanting attention, for you to sling a freaking rifle and claim that you're exercising your Second Amendments. I'll just call it out, just like I feel about it, man. I think it's dumb for someone to sling a freaking AR style or an AK style rifle, regardless of how many point tactical whatever crap stupidity dumb damn thing that they have, and tote it around and claim that you're just doing it because you're exercising your Second Amendment. No, you're not. You're trying to draw attention to yourself, and you're trying to goad someone into a freaking altercation.
And you know what? um, differences of opinion. There are uh, let's in differences of opinion. There are people that are out there that feel like it is their duty to confront or to be the lawman per se and try to deal with these people.
It's a
And then,
losing argument.
And then you have people like, I think the majority of law enforcement out there now. I mean, well, let's let's say the majority of law enforcement who've been in law enforcement for some time and are past that super cop stage. Um, I can tell you that if I was to walk into a Starbucks or Chipotle or whatever it may be right now, and there's a guy in there with an AR slung across his back, I'm not going to say anything to him. I'm going to go about my business, and I'm going to be appreciative that I know that this guy has it, because somebody who typically shows them off, they're not going to be proficient. They're just
Right.
showing off.
He's a
So,
target.
so guess what?
What
I
he
know,
he's a target.
I know that he's in there. He does anything stupid, I know who I know who I have to go for first. It's not a secret anymore.
Right?
But
Yeah, that's true.
as far as me and you walking somewhere, it's going to be a complete secret when the poop, as we call it, hits the fan. I think
Yeah.
you'll appreciate that. But when the poop hits the fan, it's going to be an absolute secret or a surprise.
Yeah,
Not a
it won't
secret.
be it won't be a secret long.
It's going to be a hell of a surprise when, you know, uh, there's, oh my goodness, there's 4 guns up right now. But we only saw that one.
Right, yeah. Like, wow, where did all these freaking guns come from, man?
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, if you carry off duty, you should really take some off duty carry classes if your agency offers those, because when I arrive on scene, if you have a gun in your hand, you're getting one put in your face. That's just the bottom line. I don't know. I don't care that you sitting there yelling at me, I'm a cop, I'm a cop, I'm a cop. Look, you got a gun in your hand, dude. I don't care who you say you are. The proof's in the pudding. And the pudding is that ID in your back pocket. So don't be upset when you intervene and stuff like that, and all of a sudden you're handcuffed, put on the ground, and all sorts of goodness like that.
Absolutely.
But that's just the perils of doing what we do, and like I heard today in training, having the mindset of a warrior in the heart of a shepherd.
Hmm.
There's a knowledge bomb for you. Okay, so back to the target thing. You so what was it that how we got to the criminals not watching the news?
Okay. So earlier today, and you mentioned it just a second ago before we actually started talking about it, about these robberies or basically forced taking in the parking lot of these targets that are supposedly in Georgia. I saw it earlier, and it was like one of those unsighted websites that have 1,000 ads along the side, or
Right, IRL review or RJ or whatever the crap it is.
Right. So it has a story about these criminals that are supposedly terrorizing people in the Target parking lots because they know that Target doesn't want people to have guns anymore.
Right.
And, one person commented and said, or the person who posted it earlier said, I can't believe that Target is doing this and forcing their customers to have to go to their stores unsafely. Basically, I'm paraphrasing. I don't know exactly what it says, but that's what I read. And I responded with, one, this story is from an unsighted website. So, like we tell everybody, everything on the internet is true. So, because this is on the internet, it has to be true.
It has to be true.
But living in the metro Atlanta area, as we both do, I haven't seen anything about it. Maybe I've just been out of the loop, but I haven't seen anything about it.
I'm actually on the Gainesville Times website right now, which is this is a favorite term of mine, the legal organ for Gainesville, and that's a true term. Look it up. And I see nothing about any robberies at Target. So even if they just happen like yesterday or today, there'd still be a blurb about it somewhere on this website, and I don't see anything about. Now, that's not to say that it didn't really happen, but I think the newspaper would have said something about it by now. But going back to what you said about the criminals not watching the news.
Okay. Yeah. So like after that part about it being a baseless website, basically, and Target requesting that we don't carry our guns in Target, I,
Right.
I also put a statement in there that I seriously doubt that a criminal is going to sit at home and watch the news and say, "That's it, Target. They don't want anybody to carry guns in there. That's where we're going to do all our robberies from now on." What criminal that watches the news?
Well, and here was my counter to that, and the reason why I told you to hold up. They don't have to watch the news anymore. All they got to do is flip open Facebook, which is how I heard about the policy to begin with.
Mm, mm.
They don't have to. Nobody has to watch the news anymore. Most of the time, as a matter of fact, news agencies are the last place that people hear about news. Most breaking news is broke over social media. So they don't have to watch the news anymore. All they got to do is flip open Facebook or Twitter or whatever, and right there's all the news they need.
Right. Well, I guess
So
that makes sense.
do I think that they all of a sudden all just started saying, "Hey, let's collectively all go and start causing trouble at Target"? No, I don't think that that's what happened. And it's the whole alarmist mindset. It's people getting worked up over nonsense and just trying to find something on the internet to make them feel better about the way that they believe. You know what I honestly compare it to? I compare it to the days when everybody said don't check in on Facebook anywhere because then all the robbers are going to know that you're not home and they're going to come rob your freaking house.
Yep.
I shook my freaking head when I heard that, and I heard that come from a law enforcement supervisor's mouth. Look, don't check in on Facebook because then people are going to know that you're not at home, and then they're going to come run and rob you.
Right.
That was the dumbest thing I had ever heard. Now, does it happen? Sure, it probably does happen sometime, somewhere. It probably has happened. But it's no different than people driving by your house and saying that there's no cars in the freaking driveway.
Yeah.
Or looking in your garage and saying there's no cars in the garage either.
No lights on.
Right. Newspaper.
Ring your doorbell.
Out. Yep.
Ring your doorbell. Nobody answers.
Yep. And have that little plea set up is where someone does answer the door. Oh, hey man, I'm just out in the neighborhood looking for my dog. Have you seen it? Come on, man. Stop it. Of course, these guys aren't.
Let's not give any of these creeps any ideas on how to get in somebody's house.
Well, they're probably not listening to my show anyway. But then again, maybe they're going to listen to my show to get all the tips about.
Or somebody might post part of it on Facebook. Oh no!
That'd be really cool, though.
Maybe we could go viral, huh?
Yeah, maybe we go viral. I put that in quotations too, because that's another dumb term that I don't like. That's just from my online stuff, though.
Why don't you like viral?
Because, man, everybody wants to create videos and have them go viral.
You're damn right.
But here's the thing. There is no repeatable pattern of a way to shoot a video and have it go viral. Because if there were, the people that already had viral videos would have 1 million freaking viral videos. They do it over and over and over again. So when I hear the word, we're going to do a viral video. No, you're not. You're going to put out an ordinary video, and it's going to attract the attention of some people, and then it won't attract the attention of some people. And in the grand scheme of things, 1 million views is I'd probably consider that a viral video. 1 million views in a 24-hour period. But beyond that, do you know how many people are on social media? You know how many social media accounts there are in the world? There's billions of them. So you're just a drop in the bucket. It's not even 10% of the people on the internet have ever heard of you or seen your little viral video. So in the grand scheme of things, it's not really that viral.
I think we've talked about it before. What I want is a actual YouTube video to take off, or I can start vlogging and have people come and watch my videos every week, every Tuesday, every time I post it, and have 10 million views. Or not, that 10 million isn't going to happen. Like 100,000 views in 2 weeks and start getting some of that YouTube money.
Well, but here's the thing, though. You could try and do that, or you can do like the site I was talking about earlier, Father Apprentice. He has dozens of videos, and an overwhelming majority of them have under 200 views. Like, I would say probably 70-80% of them have under 200 views. But he makes a living off of this website. So, I mean, is the 100,000 views good? Yeah, sure. But you could either hope for that to happen, or you could increase your chances by not waiting to have a hit and then start vlogging. You could start vlogging now, and then when that spike does happen, you can already have your chops done. You can already have 100 videos in the bank, and then instead of one of your videos getting 10,000 or 100,000 views, you have 20 videos that get 1,000 views. So that's 20,000 views spread across several different videos, and then those people are telling other people about it. They're posting it to Facebook, posting it to Twitter. That's how you generate the revenue. It's not that one video, because videos on YouTube now are like videos on TV. People fast forward them. They could care less about a video on a YouTube channel. So it's the only exception to that is when people watch it on mobile, because the little button's too small to hit. And they'll sit through a video for that.
Huh. It's not too small for my screen.
Well, that's because you got like your laptop size cell phone.
That's right. No.
You can't even fit it on your duty belt.
I could.
With a drop holster, maybe.
I could put it on the back.
On the back.
Yeah, I can put it on the back. Just because I have all my stuff shoved around to the front, so everything shoved around to the front of my belt to leave the back open so I can sit down on my seat the way I'm supposed to. So I can put it in the back.
All right. I'll rephrase that. You couldn't put it on your belt and sit in your car.
Sure I could. I've done it before. I've clipped it to my magazine holder or right to the center of my belt in the
at the buckle?
Yeah, at the buckle.
You killing me, man.
Hey, you can't tell me I can't. Excuse me.
Tell me I can't.
You can't tell me that I can't. You can't tell me that I can't.
You can't. So what else is going on in the world of dadhood? I've seen some pictures up today of you and the boys having some fun.
Yeah, we went out, had some dinner with a buddy, played some impromptu cornhole in the middle of the parking lot.
Cornhole.
Yes. People stopping, looking at us. Yeah, we're playing cornhole in the middle of the parking spot.
Yes, because y'all took up like 8.5 dang parking spots to play cornhole.
Guess what?
What?
That parking lot is plenty big. There's plenty of parking spaces other places. Move on. I do what I want to for my boys.
See, that's a good attitude to have. Look, don't be mad. My boys wanted to play cornhole, so we're playing cornhole.
That's right.
Sounds pretty simple to me. So what else we got in the pipe? You found anything worth exploring?
I didn't really come to the table with much today. All I had to talk about was the hot car videos.
The hot car videos. Like I said, we'll link everything up in the show notes which again can be found at officerdad.com/3. And I think that's going to wrap it up for us tonight. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we will see you on the next episode.
See you, boys.